He and I went to.
Hassani's father.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, you were saying?
But saying that when I was 12 years old, I finished elementary school when I was 9. So I didn't have anything to do but to teach little kids.
Do most people finish elementary school at 9? When they usually...
No. See, I skipped a lot of classes. I skipped a lot of grades. Except 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. So I was up there. I should have gone to high school at 12. But my dad said he didn't have the money to send us to high school. All he had was an elementary school education. And if that was good enough for him, that was good enough for us. But there was no plan to, no?
Yeah, there wasn't. No.
So I never had the chance to go to a regular high school. I went to part-time high school, two days a week. And I taught little kids elementary school 3 days a week. But I couldn't get paid because I was too young to get paid.
Right.
You had to be 14 to be paid. So in other words, I lost a couple of years without pay. So when I was 14, I got my first assignment as a supernumerary teacher.
What's a supernumerary teacher?
You go to high school, you only part-time.
Oh. So you taught part-time and went to high school part-time.
Right, 2 days a week, high school, 3 days a week teach. When I started to get paid, it was $6 a month. That would be the equivalent of probably like $2 US.
Yikes.
So my dad was not there.
Where is it, in Trinidad?
He's in Trinidad. And of course my mom is struggling for money. She doesn't have any. She also only had an elementary school education. And so she couldn't work. She didn't work outside the house yet. I mean, a lot of children, 6 children.
Wow. And you were the oldest?
I was the oldest boy, the 3rd child. Faustina and Dana were.
Right.
So all the money I worked for, and $6 was this, nothing. I gave it all to my mom. But I realized at that age, with my dad not being there, I became a very responsible person early in life.
Did he send money home or no?
Very little. So he had another lady in Trinidad who was from St. Vincent. With whom he had children. So, even if he intended to send money home, he didn't have it.
So you have some half siblings.
I have 2 half siblings. But,
Do you know them or no?
oh yeah.
Where do they live, in St. Vincent?
One lives, I think they both went to England. And both one is still living not far from where Faustina is.
In St. Vincent?
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she came back. After spending several years in England. She bought a house and
What's her name?
I'm trying to remember her name. There were 2. There were 2 girls. Iluma was the older one. And I forget the name of the other. So, after teaching for 1 year at this supernumerary future. You gotta take an exam. So I took this exam, came out in first.
How old were you?
14.
Mm-hmm.
Came first in the exam. So now I got a raise.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
To what?
From $6, I think it was 19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
You had a $13 raise?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Still, not enough, because you might told we had 6 kids. Faustina was a teacher as well. She was ahead of me. So together, we were the support of the family.
Well, your mom took care of the kids.
Right. Yeah. Times were very tough. I mean, before you go to school in the morning, school started at 9 o'clock. Very often I had to go to the little farm we had to pick breadfruit or potatoes or something for lunch.
For lunch for you or for
For the family. Mm-hmm.
So what time do you have to wake up? Like 6?
Yeah. Wake up early. Had no clock. We waited. The church bell told us what was the time. Only time the church bell rang, You know, it was 6 o'clock. One day we went up in the field. My mother was there with me. We had no idea. It was moonlight.
Right.
We had no idea what the time was. I mean, after we worked there for several hours. I mean, I was so sleepy, I fell asleep on the ground in between the potato rows. Then I heard the church bell ring. So it must have been 3 o'clock when we got there. We had no idea.
3 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys went out at 3 a.m.
Right. But we had no idea as to the time.
Why'd you go out so early? Because it would take that long to get everything?
We thought it was late time.
Oh,
But the moon was shining.
right.
Mm. So there are times that I would go alone and climb these breadfruit trees are big tall trees, you know. To get up there, sometimes very difficult. But it was necessary. Otherwise, there was no food.
Right.
At times we went to school without breakfast. Nothing but bush with water and sugar. No bread, no biscuit, nothing. But those times, those were lessons that were being learned. I didn't know at the time. But I started, you know, I said, why a young guy like me have to suffer so much? Mm-hmm. And guys who a next door neighbor, they have their father was in Aruba. Aruba was a lot better than Trinidad because they were paid in American currency.
Oh, wow.
And he was very faithful in sending money home. So his kid was my age. Guy was not smart, he was dull. But because he had money, he went to a regular high school.
Right.
I used to help him out when he was in with his high school homework.
You would tutor him for free?
For free, oh yeah. Because he was my good personal friend.
Right.
But he went to high school because his parents could pay. And we couldn't pay. So at that time I learned there were some disadvantages to being poor. It meant you couldn't get a proper education. Because there's only one high school for boys and one for girls.
The whole island.
Whole island. It was in Kingston. So, for me to go, not only would they have to pay $5 every quarter, but they would have to pay for books, and pay for boarding.
Boarding?
Yeah, I mean, we lived on in Bayabu.
Oh, you would have to live there.
You either have to live there
Or commute every day.
or commute every day. And the bus was, in those days, bus was very unreliable. I mean, they only go once a day. And it's 9 o'clock and the school starts at 8:30.
So how did you go to school when you're working part-time?
When I did the school, I used to take the bus, but I would miss at least one period.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
So when I was 16, I told my mom I'm missing too much. I'm missing a period or two, every day.
Right.
And you're only for 2 days, so you're
Right. So you're missing a lot.
missing a lot. So we went this bicycle shop. $69 was it, remember?
Was the bike?
The bike.
Bike was $69? That's a lot for a
Brand
bike.
new bike. So I told her, listen, I'm missing too much from the bus. I'm gonna ride instead every day from work, from school, from home to the school in town. 13 miles one way.
How long did that take?
That took good hour and a half, 2 hours.
And that's
Because-
with hills and stuff.
Right. I mean, a lot of those hills you gotta walk.
You gotta,
can't-
you gotta
right.
walk your bike
Yeah.
up.
There was no, in those days, there was no
No gears.
speed.
Right. How did
So-
you afford the bike? How did you afford the bike?
We went to this bike shop. My mom was there with me, and the guy decided we could buy it on what you call credit.
Right. And you would just pay
Every month I paid $5.
until it was
Paid
paid
$5
off.
until it was paid off.
So when would you leave for school?
Left early. It started the first period at 8:30, So by 7 o'clock, I used to have to be on the road. And I mean, sometimes you're wet, from all that sweat.
Right.
But then when you're going down the hills, you get
Right.
dried
Yeah,
off.
you get dried.
Yeah. So I did that for several years.
How many years?
On, 4 or 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
From 16?
From 16. Mm-hmm.
From 16 to 20.
Around 20, right.
So when did you graduate high school?
Well, I think it was around 18, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Although I passed first year, second year I came first again, third year I came first again. And then my salary was now 60 something.
Oh, a month?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you were, and was school where you were teaching also in town, or was that
No,
Bible?
that's in Bible.
Oh, okay.
That's in Bible.
So
Yeah.
3 days you taught in Bible, 2
3
days
days,
you go to high
right.
school.
Mm-hmm. So,
How big was the school in Bible?
big school, there were 400 and something kids.
100 kids.
Yeah.
Elementary
I
school.
used to teach elementary. I used to teach 4th grade.
How many kids?
About 20 something, 30.
From
Yeah, about
14 to 18,
Mm-hmm.
you taught 20 kids.
More than that.
Did you have a curriculum?
I don't know if there's a they had books,
Right.
and
How long was the day?
the day is from 9 to 3.
You taught them the whole time?
Yes, you have 1 hour for lunch.
Gym?
No gym. You have some sports, but that was in the form of relay races. That was it.
So 6 hours.
Yeah.
Taught them for 5 hours. 5 hours.
Mm.
With little to no curriculum.
Right.
But books.
They have books, and the teach. Tell you exactly what you got to.
Did you know what you were doing?
Oh, sure, I knew I was. No, I was a good teacher. I was a good teacher.
Okay, so you graduated from high school at 18. And that's when you became a draftsman?
Well, I took this exam. It's interesting, even though you go to high school for 2 days a week, the people who went full-time 5 days a week, the exam that you took was set in Cambridge, and it's the same exam, identical exam, for the people who go 5 days a week as you
Yeah.
going 2 days a week.
Right.
So, but it taught me a lot of independence, because my father was never there, and so I became very reliant on myself, which in a sense was good because he died when I was 21 years old.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Very suddenly.
How'd you find out?
Hmm?
How'd you find out?
Well, he came, it was a Sunday. He came from Bible in a car. He was living in Bible at the time. And Faustina's husband, brother, was working as an agriculture instructor. He had a car. And he brought him to the hospital. Well, on the way to the hospital, I saw him. He was very short of breath. And he died that same night.
Well, of what? Heart attack?
Just up to now, we don't even know. what happened to him.
Huh.
Never got, yeah. I suspect he was heart failure in retrospect. I think he had a high blood pressure which was never treated,
Right.
and that
How old was he?
he was 58.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What were you doing at the time?
I was working as a draftsman in town.
So when did you start
See.
being a draftsman?
I started there when I was, I think, 20 or 21
In St. Vincent.
in St. Vincent
With Marjorie Jackson.
with Marjorie Jackson. Now that was a big raise. I mean, that I was getting from 70 something as a teacher to 220.
Whoa.
220.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
What was Faustina doing? Teaching?
She was a teacher, yeah. So for the first time in my life, I was able to, I was earning enough money to have some savings.
Right.
That's when I started. I had to give my money, my mother. When I was a teacher, I mean, all I got was, 60 something bucks, and
You just gave it all.
I just gave it all because there was not much. And I also sent younger kids like Calvin
Right.
and Monty, all those to high school, which we never had. You see. So those guys benefited a lot. Yeah, they benefited a lot. But so when 220 bucks, I mean, that was like a gold mine. I mean, I can now give my mom money, plus save some, and also pay the rent. I mean, not the boarding. I mean, I was staying with Mrs. Lockhart, so I had to pay for boarding and lodging,
Right.
and pay for give my mother money, and save, and I had some to save. So I saved up. I bought a car for investment purposes. So I had a guy who was a driver, and every day he would bring the car and we would settle up, how much he made and so forth.
How much you making that?
But he was not very honest.
Right.
He used to drive the car, a lot of places and mixed with girls and all that kind of stuff. And so, but life was very difficult. But I learned from those difficult days that I could not rely on my dad. At one point, I wanted to went to Trinidad. Went to Trinidad on a scholarship for a draftsman. But I found out Trinidad it's a big country, man. It's not like St. Vincent. In San Fernando, Port of Spain is, I think, 60-something miles from San Fernando. And after I was finished my work as a draftsman during the day, I would take a bus and go to San Fernando to some biology classes.
At the university?
No, this was the high school.
High school.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This was
Wh-
in high school.
And this is biology classes you didn't take
Biology class, right? We didn't have the
in
kind of
high
that,
school.
yeah. So that was the first time.
How did you find out about these?
Well, I saw it advertised in the local paper, and so
What were you doing in Trinidad?
I was doing the same drafting,
Mm-hmm.
but that was a drafting scholarship. It's a 1-year scholarship. Myself and another guy.
Like you would go and learn more drafting
Right,
stuff.
right, yeah.
So for that whole year, you were taking.
For that whole year, I'm doing the drafting. That's from 8 o'clock to 3 or 3:30. At the end of that time, I'm free. So now I'm 2 days a week. I'm driving now by bus, 60 miles to San Fernando to this high school to do biology classes. On Saturday, I pay a high school guy. He was going to high school. I paid him to show me how to dissect frogs and dogfish and all that stuff.
In San Fernando?
No.
In Port of Spain?
Yeah. I used to go. He was living in a place called Naparima, which was about 5 miles from Port of Spain. So I would take a taxi, go up to his house.
How did you meet him? In class?
I met him in. I was asking a guy about the high school students who had capability in biology. And this guy was referred to me as an Indian guy. So he was good. I would go to his place every Saturday. I mean, I couldn't believe I was so disciplined. We were living about, if I walked from where I was living to the savannah where they played cricket, it would take me 5 minutes.
Wow.
And I love cricket and football, soccer. You know, I never went one single day. Every Saturday, I was gone to this place in Naparima, to this guy, and dissect frogs and. So I took that exam in Trinidad, which was a zoology exam, and then passed that. And then there was botany. I took that in St. Vincent. On my own, I did that on my own. I took that exam. And my going to college was dependent on the results of that botany exam. When I went to college, I didn't know whether I had taken the exam, but I didn't know whether I passed it. If I didn't pass, they send me back home.
So when you qualified to apply to college,
I had.
where did you you submitted your paperwork while you were in Trinidad?
I submitted. It was in St. Vincent.
While you were in St. Vincent.
Yeah.
So the year was up of draftsman.
Right.
Came back to St.
Came
Vincent.
back to St. Vincent.
You're working in St. Vincent, and then you apply.
Yes.
Now that you've covered all of your.
Yes. Then I had.
When did you have the idea to go to college?
Well, I always had the idea. But the idea was the bubble burst after my father died.
Right.
I was, 21 years. Father died because I was the breadwinner of the house.
Right.
I mean, I was the one who was giving
Right.
the most money, even though my sister was older than I was, and she also was a teacher. But I was giving the most money to my mother. And so I said to myself, how could I possibly go to college and leave her stranded? I mean, she didn't have any money. So I saved up. I calculated how much the university was for 1 year, including boarding and lodging and books. And
How much was it?
I calculated it $100 a month would do me. And I had enough money to last me for 3 years.
Oh wow, you saved that much.
I saved that much.
So then, what about your mom?
So when I was going, I told my mom, I really had to go. Because what I was making, I was only 200 and something bucks.
Right.
But 20 years from now, I still will be earning
The same.
the same amount, And really, so she said she told me when the plane took off, her heart sank. Because she really didn't know how she was going to make it. What she did was she sold the farm that we had.
Oh wow.
And she was able to get enough money to, then by that time, the other guys Saville was working, and all those so they all could, contribute.
But she didn't understand why you had to go.
Right. It was.
Did she tell you not to?
Oh, yeah, no, she didn't say I had not to. But, she never discouraged me.
Right.
But she just said, it was.
When did she tell you her heart sank?
After I came back, I was talking to her, and that's what she said. At the time, she couldn't see how she was going to make it.
Right.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you went to college then? 20?
I think it was 25.
25.
Or something, yeah.
And this was college and medical school?
College and medical school.
Combined? Oh, combined.
6-year program, right.
At UE?
At UE.
And that's where you met Claxton?
That's what?
That's where you met Claxton?
That's where I met Claxton. We took Claxton he flew from St. Vincent to Barbados, overnight in Barbados, and we were joined there by 6 students from Grenada, Antigua, Dominica. All those students flew into Barbados. And then from Barbados,
You all flew together?
we took a plane to Antigua. And those days, the plane took all day. It took all day to fly from Barbados to Jamaica. Yeah.
How many
So
people were in your class?
there were 20 something, 25, I think.
And how many graduated?
Well, second MB, but there was to do the first year exam
To weed out
to
people?
right, and that was physics and chemistry. Those are the only
Just 2 classes?
for me. There were 4 classes. There was botany and zoology and chemistry and physics.
Well, so you had to
But
take
I had already taken zoology and botany.
Okay. So you just had
So
to
I
focus
only
on
had
those
to take
two.
those two. And a lot of guys used to flunk those two. But I knew before at the end of the first year, I had the physics professor was my good friend. He was the chancellor of, he was the warden of Chancellor Hall. And so he told me the results before I went home. At the end of the first year, I was the only guy who knew I had passed
Oh.
all of the whole class. So I mean, that was,
Did a lot of people not pass?
well, quite a number. There were quite a number from the year before
Who were back?
who were back in that class.
Wow.
And there were quite a number from that class who didn't make it. Yeah. I mean, we had one of the guys from Dominica. He was a Dominica Island Scholarship. He was the smartest guy in Dominica.
Wow.
He didn't make it. He flunked that year. He flunked another year, and then he you only have two tries, you see. So he was kicked out. He went to England, and he was working in a laundry in England.
What?
Yeah, laundry man. Yeah.
So you graduated in 6 years,
I got it in 6 years.
and then that's when you got your.
I couldn't. I didn't have one penny extra. See, I knew ahead of time how much.
Right, you had to save.
Right. And so,
So you saved all that money and then you spent it all.
I mean, spend it all.
Spent it all on college.
Yeah, that's everything was sending right.
Did you fly home?
3 years? No. I went back home the first year, at the end of the first year. And they gave me my job back as a draftsman for the summer.
So,
So I was able to earn enough money to buy some books for the next year. Well, at the end of the second year, I didn't go anywhere. I couldn't afford to. And I went to the Brown University.
oh, that was your second year?
Second year.
Wow.
Mhm.
How'd you get that?
It's an interesting story. I was working as a draftsman in St. Vincent.
Right. During the summer.
No.
Oh, this is a long.
This is before I went to college. So I met these. We were selling maps. If you wanted a map of St. Vincent or a map of the town, you came to that office, the survey office, to buy these maps.
Right.
So two white guys came. One was Blanding and his cousin. They were vacationing in St. Vincent. So they came to the office and they bought the map and they wanted to know how to get to the Botanic Gardens. So I traced the route to them, and they were very nice. They invited. They said we was so kind to them, and they were able to find where they were looking. And they invited Marjorie Jackson and myself to dinner.
Nice.
In the hotel where they were staying. And so we went, and I told him I was planning to go to medical school. And he was a pharmacist. His mother owned a pharmacy in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. They had money. So he invited me to go up to Rhode Island. I told him I couldn't do it because I didn't have the money, you know.
Or a passport.
Oh, right. Well, I had a passport because I had a passport.
Oh, okay.
You need to have it, you know. To go
Because you were going to Jamaica.
Right. So I had a passport. So I told him if I could get a job in Rhode Island, then I could pay my way and get my money back, you know. Yeah. So he got a job for me at Pawtucket, Rhode Island Memorial Hospital.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That second year?
That second year.
Doing what?
Doing externship. That was a very informative, because for the first time I'm dealing with patients.
Right.
And I'm making wrongs with these doctors.
Right.
And seeing exactly what they do and so on.
And you're the only one doing that?
I'm the only one. The only one.
In your class that's doing that?
Right.
Wow.
So and I was being paid $150 a month. I was there for 3 months. No, that's...
Wait, so Pawtucket Medical...
Pawtucket Rhode Island Hospital was part of Brown University.
Was part of Brown University.
So, $150, but boarding was free,
Right.
lodging was free, laundry was free. I mean,
Food?
Food was free, yeah.
Wow.
So I spent $0
Wow.
during the entire time.
What did you do with the money?
Buy stethoscope,
Right.
buy books, and you know, that was very important. Yeah.
Is that how you learned about the Mayo Clinic when you were there?
No, when I was there at Brown University, that was my internship. Well, the internship is 1 year. And after that, you look for a residency.
Right. But you only were there for 3 months.
Where? No. 3 months only when I was a medical student.
Right.
Now, after I was finished medical school,
Oh, you went back.
I came back.
Oh, okay.
I came back now as an intern.
Oh.
And after the internship, then I wanted a residency.
Right.
Now, the residencies were hard to get for most people. The other people who were in internship with me were Indian. There were several Indian guys, Polish, Cuban, and some of them didn't speak much English.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was asking them how many applications they were sending out. And one guy had said he had 20 applications, and each application is, I think it was $10.
Yeah.
One guy had sent 30, and they couldn't get residency. The easiest residency to get was psychiatry. And nobody was. So some of them went into psychiatry. So I said, listen, I don't have that kind of money to spend with all that application. So I spoke to a cardiologist there, whose name was Lovering. And I said, where should I look for a residency. He said only two places. If you want clinical medicine, apply to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. If you want research-oriented medicine, apply to Mass General Hospital in Boston. So I sent two applications, one to the Mayo Clinic, one to Mass General. I said, just in case I didn't get into any of those two places, let me send another application for some other place, which was, I think, was Michael Reese.
Where was that?
That was in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm concerned about money, because if you go to Boston, Mass General was paying $125 a month. An apartment in Boston at that time was a minimum of $150.
Wow.
So I said, wow, I mean, it's
you-
obvious I can't make it there.
Right.
So when I got the application, I got the cable, got a cable from the Mayo Clinic. After 2 weeks, and said, "We'll come over for an interview."
For Mass General?
From the Mayo Clinic.
Oh, okay.
And so I went over, flew there, interviewed with them.
Do you have to pay for the flight?
You have to pay for the flight. Yes. Spent a day with making rounds. And then, so I must have made a good impression, because 2 weeks later I got a cable. This was April. I was accepted. So I said, wow, it's 300 bucks a month, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But I didn't have any place to stay,
Right.
you know. Most of the people, residents, came from California. Those were all guys who had worked, you know, a year or two. They had moonlight, and they all have cars. And so where they were living, I couldn't live there because, one, I
Couldn't make it.
couldn't make it, and I didn't have a car. So when I came, I had no place to live. I stayed at the Kayla Hotel, which was, I think, $30 a night or something like that.
For how long?
Well, I didn't know how long, but I had enough money to last me for a couple of weeks. So then I went over to the Mayo Clinic, had a housing. Well, they sent me the information, but I didn't take them up on it. I mean, I didn't apply for housing. But now I needed housing.
Right.
So, the lady told me, said most of the residents who are single, they have this place across the street. The Mayo Clinic is here. You cross the street, there's this house called the Wilson Club. And it's for young, single males, only males. And she said there may be a vacancy there, but she was not sure.
Are they all medical students or
They're all
residents?
All residents, different specialties. So I was think I spent 3-4 days at the Kayla Hotel. She called me up and said there was a vacancy at the Wilson Club. $28
What?
a month.
It's awesome.
Not only do they have a maid, you have
And you'd be making 150 a month?
300.
Are you making 300?
300.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I could still send my
Money home.
money to my mom. Yeah. So I send money, and I can save now because I didn't have to pay for transportation.
Right.
And after 3 months, they made me manager of the Wilson Club. $28 and something. So I didn't have to spend 1 cent because I was being paid to manage the place.
Nice.
Management was nothing. So I was able to I saved up, take my second year, and buy a brand new Volkswagen, cash for $2,250.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What, during your time at UE, your 3rd to 6th year, did you go back home at all?
I never went home until they finally.
Until you graduated.
I graduated. And the university paid for that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, they paid for when you
The first time you went?
First time you went, and at the end of
And how much does that usually cost back then?
Oh, I went back once. I told you. I went back at the end of my first year. That was by boat.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't fly. I didn't have money.
Oh, how long did that?
That boat took a week.
A week.
It's the Federal Maple,
How much did that cost?
14 pounds,
Wow.
which was
Like $17, $20.
right. But that's on deck. My pillow was the sandbag. And you'd be surprised. I mean, after a few days, the sandbag feels soft. It was so hard. I mean, yeah. So I went back to the first year, and then the university paid at the end of when you graduated. So I went back twice. Once by boat, and then yeah.
And how long were you at the Mayo Clinic?
5 years.
5 additional years? My gosh. Residency's 5
Right,
years?
yeah. Well, it's more than that now. Because internal medicine used to be 2.5. And cardiology used to be 2.5. Now it's internal medicine is now 3 and sometimes 4.
Oh my gosh.
And cardiology is 3.
What's urology?
Urology, you have to do first general surgery, which is a 2-year or 2.5 year, and then urology another 3.
Ron did urology.
But you have to do general surgery.
General surgery first. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's forever.
No, it's a long time. It's a long.
When did you decide what you wanted to do? What
I
specialty?
wanted, as a medical student, I wanted to become a cardiothoracic surgeon. Well, in my internship, first, I started an internship in Barbados and was working with a cardiothoracic surgeon who was trained in England, he was from Grenada. He was the sloppiest, most incompetent person I had ever met. And that caused me to change my mind
Oh, wow.
very, very quickly. And then when I went to Rhode Island, I met this set of cardiologists. There were 3 of them, very good,
Very smart.
very smart. And so
So you were like,
I decided at that time that was what I was going to do.
funny how it plays
It's
out that way.
absolutely right.
Just need one good experience
Mhm.
or one bad.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Nelson,
Nelson was the
yeah,
bad.
bad guy. I mean, awful, sloppy. I mean, he had no judgment whatsoever. I remember in medical school, we were there. One of the surgeons had a woman with an aneurysm of the aorta. And you can see it pulsating in her neck. And the surgeon who was demonstrating, he said, when you see a patient with this coming to you, you send it to somebody else. Send it to somebody else. This is not one that you tackle.
Wow.
And we met this woman came up in Barbados with the same pulsating aneurysm. And Nelson said, "Oh man, I can do this. I can do this." In Barbados, every other person had syphilis. The blood was contaminated there. They had gonorrhea or syphilis. And so to get blood transfusion in Barbados is very, very difficult. You have to wait until the Navy ships come in.
Oh my gosh.
And then the soldiers would donate blood.
And they don't have syphilis?
No. The soldiers were clean. The soldiers were clean. But the average Barbadian had syphilis or gonorrhea. So the night before, the Navy ship was in town, and we got 22 units of blood donated by the Navy for this, in preparation for this woman. And everybody was there because this operation had never been done in Barbados.
Right.
Never. So everybody is looking in the theater through the window to see exactly how he was going to approach us. And so he used the saw to cut the breastbone. Of course, the saw cut into the aneurysm. There's blood now on the ceiling. And I mean, it was all downhill from there. I mean, she just bled to death. I mean, never.
Man.
Yeah. That was Cyril Nelson. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What did he say after?
When he said,
Did he say anything?
I don't know what he said either. He didn't. Yeah, it's all kind of excuses, but his judgment was just awful. Awful. Yeah. So I was supposed to spend a year in Barbados.
But you left.
I had to leave. I mean, this guy I couldn't handle it more than 3 months
This was after you graduated medical school?
after I graduated medical school. You see,
Okay.
what happened, I had spent 3 months at Brown
Right.
as a student. So I knew what the residency should look
Should
like.
be like. So when you were in Barbados, you were
So
like, this
in
is a
Barbados,
joke.
I mean, this was just a joke. People just, you work like a slave. You work, you made rounds, you go to the operating room and during the day, and then at night, 2 days a week, you cover the emergency room. Yeah, you didn't learn it, nobody, you know, you didn't learn anything. Yeah. It was a trial and error kind of. So, I said, that's why you guys, when you go to England, you spend so much time with the eggs, because you were never taught properly. I mean, when I went to England to take that exam, it was like a piece of cake. Never had an exam that easy.
Why do you think it was such a piece of cake?
Why
do you think it was so easy?
Because I had so much clinical knowledge
From the U.S. or
from the Mayo Clinic.
from the Mayo Clinic?
Yeah, I had just taken the internal medicine board exam, and I decided to go to England and take this one.
Just so you had both.
Right. It was so simple. The patient I got was very complicated, but I knew everything. But he said, you know something, I'm volunteering for this exam for 15 years. You were the first person who told me what was wrong with me. Correct. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was wrong with him?
He had ankylosing spondylitis. That's the thing where your vertebrae fuse one on top of the other. And these patients always have aortic valve leak. And it affects the conduction system. So they have heart block. So he had all the complications, but
No one had known.
right. I mean, he knew what he had, but he told me nobody had ever told him.
This was at the Mayo Clinic.
This was after the Mayo Clinic.
After the Mayo Clinic.
I went and took this exam.
In England.
In England.
This was part of the exam in England.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
They brought patients in for the exam.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you see, my intention was to go back to be an instructor in medicine at the University of the West Indies.
Right.
And this exam is what counted.
Right.
That was the
plan.
That was the plan. And so
Why did the plan change?
the plan changed because when I went, I was offered the position. I still have it in my desk there. I was offered the position when I went down to see exactly what the conditions were like. One of my old professors, a guy that had studied as a medical student.
Right.
He said, Harry, if I were you, with your qualifications, I would never accept this.
Wow.
He said the university is in a state of flux. A lot of the contributing islands like St. Vincent and Grenada, they haven't paid their subscription for years. So the university didn't have any money.
Oh.
So.
He was just like, don't join.
Right. And at that time, they were raping in Jamaica was rampant.
Really?
Yeah. The professor of surgery, his wife, who was
What?
white, was raped.
Wow.
So then he left and went to Kuala Lumpur.
Wow.
Yeah,
You went to Malaysia?
yeah.
So when that...
So when I went down there, I met him. He was the guy who interviewed me. In those days, there was a board. They would come as a medical student. They would send a professor to St. Vincent to interview you
Wow.
for the selection, you know. So I knew him well. And when I went back to look at this job, I met him in the corridor and he said, "Oh, you look so prosperous." And we started talking. He said, "You know, I've been here for 15 years. And all I have saved in that 15 years is 15 pounds.
What?
So that in itself told me something. Ralph Richards, who was one of he was an instructor in medicine when I was a medical student. And he told me he was entertaining one of the professors from England, professors from England used to come there to give exams, you see,
Right.
external examiner. And he said he knew the guy in England, and he treated him well. So when he decided to reciprocate, and so he took the guy to a very good restaurant in Kingston. He said what he spent on that dinner was his entire allowance for the entire year. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and Grell did the same thing. Grell had a son. After I turned the job down, Grell got the job as an instructor in medicine. And he came up to the rank of professor. He had a son who wanted to do engineering in Canada. And he could not pay the school fees of his son to go to Canada. He had to take leave of absence,
What?
go to Dominica, that's his hometown, work as a private doctor
To get him
to get through
to get him into his own school.
Right. To get him to Canada. Yeah. That's how. So I said to myself, that is not what I wanted to do. I wouldn't. So hard. You can't even pay your own children's fee. That's not.
That's horrible.
Yeah. That cake is really good.
What, that cake? What cake is that? Oh, is that Marilyn?
Right.
Marilyn Martin's cake.
Marlin Kamak, not Martin.
Oh, yeah.